Yeah, another aggravated Mr. Mayo here again this morning with another fun-packed episode of RanTcid Mayo for you all. Folks, let me start by saying, throughout my whole life, I've prided myself on the fact that I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. I don't smoke. I also don't drink. I mean, occasionally, maybe, once a year at a barbecue, I'll have a couple of beers or something. But I'm not a drinker, I've tried to avoid those kinds of things, and I've also never taken drugs. I don't even like taking prescription drugs, okay? And I've avoided that my whole life as much as I could. Okay, now, in recent times, we were all getting somewhat older, so I had to take some pills. I have a prescription, and nothing serious, but something I have to take, and only for the present. I don't think this is going to be something, I know it's not going to be something I have to take forever, and I am eventually going to be done with it, okay, and I won't be taking pills at all. But for the time being, I have to get a prescription. Now, I want to tell you a story of what happened to me recently, I don't know, a week or two ago, I forget. And to tell you this story, it comes kind of in two parts. Now, for the first part, I want you to imagine that it's 3 months ago. This prescription that I get, it's a 90-day supply. So every 90 days, you got to get it refilled, okay? Now, of course, in the good old days, you used to go to your doctor, the good old 20th century. Remember the 20th century that I love so much and miss dearly? You used to go to your doctor. If you did a prescription, right, for something, he would give you a little piece of paper with a prescription on it. You'd walk to your local pharmacy, drugstore, and hand it over to the pharmacist, and you get your prescription filled. Easy, right? Well, apparently they felt, no, we're moving on in times. So these days they do mail-order prescriptions, which are a complete disaster. Don't even get me started on mail-order prescriptions. Or they do, at my particular office where I go to the doctor now, they do phone in, they just like send it in. Or I say phone in, it's probably more, interneted in, computerized, they do it on the computer. So now let's go back, pretend it's 3 months ago. This is going back 3 months, and I was running out of my prescription, and I had a doctor's appointment. So I went to my doctor, and when you go into that little room, the girl comes in, the nurse, or whoever she is, I guess. She comes in and she takes your information, and while she's at her computer screen typing in the information, she says to you, she said to me, do you need any refills in your prescription? And I said, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. And, she asked me, of course, do I have the right pharmacy? Where is it located? They're going to zoom it in or whatever they do. And, okay, so she does that. And then, shortly thereafter, the doctor himself walked into the office. This is 3 months ago. The doctor himself walked in the office, and, I said to him, Doc, I need the medication. The girl just took care of it, so she's going to send it in, right? Oh, yeah, we'll send it in, no problem. So this was 3 months ago, and then what happened was, as I was running out of medicine a few months ago, it turns out neither one of them, between the two of them, you would have thought one of them would get it right. Between the two of these jackasses, nobody called it in because the pharmacy didn't have it, didn't have the medication. Could you imagine that? So, I was really pretty perturbed about it, needless to say. And eventually I got the medication. I don't know why people these days, even medical professionals, can't get it right. So now, fast forward ahead to now, recently, I'm starting to run out of my medication again. I'm very dangerously close to the end, And I had another doctor's appointment a week or two ago. I go into the office, same thing happens, deja vu completely. The girl in there, I don't know if it was the same girl or another nurse, I don't know, it was somebody, says to me, do you need your prescription or anything? I said, yes, I do. I'm glad you asked. I said, I just want to tell you, 3 months ago, you were supposedly going to send it in, but the pharmacy never got it. I said, so please, I don't mean to be a pain or a pest, but can you please try to get it right? And she said, oh, I'm sorry about that. Oh, sure. What's your pharmacy again? I gave her all the information. Okay, so just to be on top of this, to make sure, just for good measure, that there's no room for error anymore, when the doctor himself came in a week or so ago, I brought it to his attention too. I said, Doctor, how you doing? Listen. Please, I just talked to the girl when she came in here, and I told her I need the medication again, so please make sure it gets to my pharmacy, please. I'm only telling you this because 3 months ago, there was a little mishap, and, you guys didn't call it in. Oh, don't worry, it'll be fine, Mr. So-and-so, it'll be fine, right? Okay. So I'm waiting now for the pharmacy to text me. They usually send me a little text. Your refill is ready. Your prescription is filled, And I'm noticing after a day or two, as I'm getting to the end of the bottle, I'm noticing that I don't get a notice from the pharmacy. So I call the pharmacy and I say, excuse me, do you have a prescription ready for me? Give my information and such. I'm sorry, we never got anything. Ho, 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 ho! I hit the roof. Well, I didn't want to yell at the pharmacist. I said, look, I know it's not your fault, but I don't know why the doctors are so incompetent. So I called up the doctor and I raised holy hell, screaming at the nurse. Sorry, folks, that's the way it is. I got patience up to a point. Do you believe that? How in the world does this happen twice? 2 people, a nurse and the doctor himself, 3 months ago, screw up. And then even when you tell them they screwed up 3 months later, please make sure you get it right this time. They screw it up again. How in the world does this happen? What's with the incompetence? What's with not paying attention? I've noticed this in recent years, the last decade or so. It's getting worse and worse. I think it has to do with the internet. It has to do with the fact that people text everything and computerize everything, and nobody really focuses. Everybody's just not thinking, that nobody retains anything. I mean, everything today in this god-awful, god-forsaken, stinking 21st century world is backwards. Everybody's thinking of themselves. Nobody gives a crap about anybody else. Nobody really does anything right. If you go to delicatessen, the order's going to be wrong. If you go to a restaurant, the order's going to be wrong. That's a whole other video sometime. And believe me, I'll get to that too. But there's a good chance that whatever you do, whether it's getting a doctor prescription, whether it's ordering a sandwich, whether it's making an appointment at a restaurant, a reservation, it's a good chance, folks, I'm not lying, that these days, the chances are, I want to say 60, 75% that they're going to get it wrong or they're going to screw up. Why? And this is a medical field we're talking about. Luckily for me, this isn't really that big a deal of a prescription, but some people out there may really need some important medication. And, if they dilly-dally like this or forget, we just forgot, I'm sorry, sorry, sir, sorry, ma'am, we'll do it right away, we'll get it on top of this. You can really hurt somebody. The medical profession, whatever happened to medical care? Whatever happened to, taking good care of your patients? Nobody gives a rat's butt about anything anymore. It's over, folks. It's been over.